What's going on, Sofa Squad? Here we are in the wastelands, and I've got a chicken. So, life's good. If you want to see what I think is very possibly the best weapons to have in Wasteland 3 at the moment for pretty much most of the game until there's some DLC, then stay tuned. That's coming up next.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Whee.
Welcome back, all you guys and girls. So yeah, first off, just so you know, I will not be putting in the weapons that you can only really get in Yuma County or right at the end of the game, because at the moment, until there's DLC, I don't think there's any real point mentioning them, because you won't have enough time with them to actually find them viable. But what I have put together is a list of guns that I think, once they're in your team, you will absolutely massacre all of the content in the game on any level. So to start off, and I must admit, I'm in two minds of what my favourite is, but I really do think it is probably this gun just here, the PDW submachine gun. This gun is absolutely devastating. I would say it's one of the best guns in the game, and definitely one of the most fun to use. It just decimates everything. On the off chance that this doesn't actually destroy something outright, which it should, if it doesn't, there's probably something wrong somewhere. This gun's too strong, just too strong. It's so much better than most of the other guns out there that it is ridiculous. But if it doesn't, it's got 10% chance to apply damage to armour. So it's got quite a good base hit chance, its crit damage is good, its crit chance is good, its penetration is 99, and it has 10% chance to apply damage to armour. On top of that, which you may not 100% know, you probably do, but if you don't, anything that you do with explosives, so say for example you put your explosive damage up through your background or something along those lines, it's going to up the damage of this because it's classed as using explosive rounds. The thing's a beast, an absolute beast. If you are making a character that's using explosives, say for example like with this guy, I'm using a javelin, make sure you put on the PDW-01, you will not regret it. He will do a ridiculous amount of damage, and I just think it is probably one of the best guns in the game, if not my personal favourite. Now, I don't have the best mods on for this, there's no point lying, I really don't. I've run out of mods every which way but loose, but what you want to do is damage, and a little bit of crit chance. You want to get as much crit chance on this as possible and as much damage as possible. If you can get a bit of range, that's great as well. Now, another thing you probably want will be a bit of magazine size. But if you have a little look at what I've put on here, mag size, hit chance, just to make sure you're actually hitting the target, which is nice, crit chance, and damage. Obviously you can get better mods than that, but probably stick with something along these lines and just up the rating of them. You want to make sure you're hitting the targets, you want to make sure your crit chance is as high as possible, and you want to make sure that you're just absolutely doing ridiculous damage. If you have a look, that's doing 137 damage times 6. That's a lot of damage. Obviously you can shoot it a lot more times than once. I believe if you do the best setup, you can get at least 3 shots off with this, with Serial Killer, and you'll be doing thousands of points of damage. Now, if you have a little look at just over here, one of the reasons why this SMG is so devastating is because of these perks here. So Stormer, if you move more than 5 spaces, your next submachine gun attack costs no AP once per turn, so you get a free attack, which is amazing. Killing an enemy with an automatic weapon gives free AP once per turn. Again, really good. So if you think about these two, which are by far the best two on the block. They are amazing. The special move is also really good for SMG. It does devastating damage. There literally is no wrong turn with this SMG. It's going to massacre people. But imagine having these two, having Serial Killer on your build, and having someone to buff you via Rally to give you another 2 AP. It's strong. It's well worth having in your build. I would say if you've got a leader with Rally buff, with this build in it as well, you're going to massacre everything by turn 2, 8, 9, 10 times out of 10. You really can devastate the enemies with this SMG. So like I said, that I think is one of my personal favourites in the game. I really enjoy using this. Chuck it on one of your characters, you will not regret it. If you're not sure where it is, I'll try and chuck a few guides or links up the top just to make sure you actually can find the stuff. Second up, and this one again is an explosive one, because in this game explosive weapons are actually really fun, really viable and really devastating. So the next one up, when I find it, is this one just here, the Nuka-Zooka. Now hands down this one should not be on the list. I don't know if they intended it to be how it is used, or if it's a bug or what. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't seem like it's anything they plan to fix, at least in the short term as far as I'm aware. I've not heard anything on this. But basically the Nuka-Zooka is kind of a boss killer because it does so much damage, and you need a special ammunition type called tactical nukes, or nukes as such. But you don't get many of them. You pretty much get them from killing some of the bosses in some of the really hard stashes, and from killing some of the special targets. Say for example a Scorpitron or Gold Scorpitron, you may well get one of them land. I think entirely in the whole game you can get, I want to say around 7, you might be able to get a few more, but it's not ridiculous amounts. It's, I would say probably at max maybe 10. You don't get many, that's why not a lot of people tend to use this. However, for some reason, when you use this right here, this one on the explosive tree, so Mortar Blast. Target an area with your rocket launcher and fire it into the air. The rockets fall down, bombarding that area below for 100% damage. Now, the reason that's good is because if you have a little look here, they're automatic crits. You saw the damage of that weapon. There's no reason for me to explain any more why that's good. And over here, it increases the ability's area effect, by 40%, which is again really good. But obviously you only get those 10 ammo. However, in this game at the moment, which I don't think, like I said, I've not heard any fixes or any issues with it at all, Mortar Blast does not consume ammo. So you can do a heck of a lot. Obviously there is a little bit of waiting time after you've used it, but you can wipe out half the adds or more on a map by doing this quite easily. It is definitely one of the most overpowered guns in the game, and definitely the most devastating. So that's why that's on the list. Next up, and we have this right here, and my goodness, this gun is absolutely different class. The Jackhammer Pump Shotgun. Now there's a couple of ways you can run this shotgun. You can actually change it to fire, I believe, to up the damage a bit. I've not bothered with that myself. I went crit, and crit seemed to do the job, so it is down to your preference. But I'll show you how I modify it, and you can let me know what you think. But yeah, if you have a little look, its base hit chance is 65%, its crit damage is 3.05, crit chance 20%, and its penetration is low, so it's not the best for penetration. However, this thing can still 3/4 way through the game, kill a Scorpitron if you're hitting enough ads. It's absolutely ridiculous. If I show you the modified version, if you have a little look here, so what you want to chuck on it will be a scope that has this on. Hopefully your crit chance has gone down, but what I tend to find is if you put crit into the actual character, so say for example you chose it for the character, or Raider Hater, those two are probably your best, so give him an extra 5% crit, or give him Raider Hater for the extra damage against humans, probably works best on this character. So what you'll do, just here you're going to give range massive, under here critical damage massive, magazine, and this is the creme de la creme. If you put this magazine on it, this shotgun fires for 2 AP. Wow, 2 AP for one of the strongest weapons in the game. One of the biggest ad clearing guns in the game. Now just down here, this is your preference. I've been trying this and I find it works really well. I've gave it a little bit of extra range, that way if you can target things and get them all in a full line, you're going to be hitting roughly 3 ads every single time, which gives you the damage multiplier and makes them absolutely pop. If you want to change it and you want to change it for a choke that gives you extra radius, that also works. It is completely down to your preference. Now what you'll want to do for this gun will definitely be just over here, bar none. This is the most powerful thing on this line, and that is Devastation. Pick up whatever else you want, but make sure you pick up Devastation. As far as I'm aware, I can't 100% be sure now as I've not tested it for a while, but I think Draw works on this as well. I'm 90% sure Draw works, so that's really powerful, but this one is the one you want first. Shotgun attacks gain 25% damage for each enemy hit by the same shot. It's huge, absolutely huge. It really does. It basically means if you can get clumps of ads together, if you're hitting 4 ads, nothing's surviving. They're dead. Everything's dead. If there's a tank, if there's a Scorpitron, it's dead. So definitely you want that. This one right here is quite good as well. Oh, this one, clear cover. And like I said, I think this one works as well. If you'll have a look here, I've actually got on animal training. So I've made this guy an animal whisperer. And you might be thinking, why would you bother with that? Well, animal whisperer is really good for this character. What you want to do is if you're using this gun, put on animal whisperer, and that way if you have got lengthier battles, say for example an Aspen battle or a major plotline battle, something along those, if you have a look here, if your animal companion drops to 25% condition, so health, gain 50% critical chance and 2 AP. Find yourself the squishiest animal you can find, charm him, and then go to town. As soon as they're getting knocked for 6 and their health has gone down, you become an absolute monster. So to put things in perspective, you will have 2 AP, then you will have 2 AP from Rally if you're using a leader, which you probably should be if you want to get the most out of your team, and then you'll probably be chucking Serial Killer on him, so he'll have another 3 AP, and then you'll have the original 11. That pretty much brings you up to a grand total of 18 AP, I believe. That's considerable. It really is powerful, and this shotgun I would say rivals the best guns in the game. I am going to give an honourable mention to this one right here, the Neutron Projector, just because now they're actually fixing chain ambush. I wasn't going to put a sniper into this list because, to be perfectly honest, without chain ambush they're just kind of a pain to fit into your build, and when you do try and use chain ambush the game breaks. So I kind of found them a little bit redundant, just for the fact that they did break my game way too much. Now they should be fixing that. I believe they have on PC and should be fixing it on Xbox very shortly. So this one has gone into the build as well, and that is the Neutron Projector. If you are using a character with a Neutron Projector, definitely chuck on this, the coffin nails. That will help give you the extra crit chance. It's really good. They've usually got enough hit chance to not worry too much. Chuck it on. This one here, like I said, I've run out of pretty much everything. Up the damage, and then basically what you want to do, try and make it with a bit of range, and then give it a nice magazine with magazine extra size, because that way you will be able to take more shots on your chain ambush. Now, all of the sniper skills are quite handy, to be honest, but the only one I'm going to mention, like I said, is chain ambush. What you want to do, make sure your character's got 12 AP, so even from the rally call at the start, that's all good. She can take the shot, and that way, straight after that, she can then go into chain ambush. There's a few ways to get 12 AP at the start. What you could do is either have her so that she initiates and then still has 6 AP over through, say, 2 pump chump or something along those lines, or you could make it so that she's not the one that initiates and the rocket launcher guy is, and that she then sets up the chain ambush after her first shot. There's lots of different ways to do it, but what you want to do is make sure she is set to chain ambush and does have bullets in her chamber, just so that she's taking out all of the ads on their turn when they're moving. Right, guys and girls, they are my most fun and most powerful guns that I have found in the game. Like I said, I'm not going to mention the guns at the very end of the game, just because I don't feel like you use them enough. I really don't. Maybe once there's DLC they'll become kind of viable, but at the moment there's no point telling you to go and get a gun that you're going to use once or twice and then it's going to be game over. Find these guns, put them in your team, and you will dominate and have a lot of fun with the game. As always, if you think you found a better gun, or you've got a build or anything you want to chuck in the comments, go for it. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, if you haven't subscribed or you like the video, then why not hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and bell icon and become part of the Sofa Squad for all things Xbox and soon Xbox Series X. As always, guys and girls, take care. I'll see you all next day.